Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and today we have such an incredible topic. Many of you have asked us, Dr. Ernst, how can we boost our immune system? I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but we'll just say the word variants. We could say COVID, but of course, there's so many different strains, and the effects of this is beginning to rise quite a bit in our local communities. So I wanted to come to you today and talk to you about what does the research show could be. Look, this show is not about COVID, not about protecting you against just COVID. It's about strengthening your immune system for everything. Bacteria, fungus, parasites, viruses, all the things that want to invade your space, take over your body, your host, and can lead to various conditions that can make us sick. And yes, right now everybody's worrying about the different variants and whatnot of COVID. So I thought I'd pull some information and share with you the unconventional ways to boost your immune system. You know, a lot of people, if I say, how would you boost your immune system? I would take vitamin C, I'd take vitamin D, zinc, right? All this quercetin. I've even had some people say, well, I have a local connection, so I have on hand, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, all the antivirals that are working against COVID. But see, that doesn't really boost your immune system. So what I want to talk to you about today is this idea that you have a programmed protectant that, listen to this, when strong, healthy, and active, can protect you from any virus, any bacteria. Pneumonia is a big deal for a lot of people today, and it's a bacterial infection. So I want to help you to overcome the conditions that are stemming from having weakness to the immune system. And let's talk about what does the research show would be a great way to boost the ability for you to fight any type of infection, including COVID, okay? So this is not just me coming at you with, hey, here's what I think works. Listen to some of the journals that have been published. I'm going to hold this up for those of you on our live streams. Hey, if you're just new to tuning in to the Ask Dr. Ernst show, we live stream every show, every week on both Facebook and Google through YouTube. So take a moment and head on over to facebook.com/AskDrErnst. Go ahead and watch the feed, click the thumbs, hit the likes. Let's share this message. And if you're on YouTube watching through that channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications of each show, and leave a comment for us or share this show. It's going to be transformational. Listen to this. Intermittent fasting as a possible priming tool. Did you see that? A possible priming tool to give you defense against SARS-CoV-2 infection. So could it be that one of the greatest things that we should do to stop the spread of this current pandemic is to start implementing some intermittent fasting? I think it's interesting. Listen to the study. If we could implement intermittent fasting, it could be a potential strategy amidst the outbreak of fighting a SARS-CoV-2 infection. So the research is suggesting, hey, rather than necessarily vaccinating or wearing masks or sheltering yourself, if you really want to be protected, you should be intermittent fasting every day. It boosts your immune system, so we have to talk about that. What about this one? Guys, this is just a couple months ago, October 2021, published in the journal Nutrients. Those of you watching our live stream, you could probably read this back to us. COVID-19 mortality risks are inversely connected to your vitamin D3 status. Pause for a second. What does that mean? Well, if you have really low vitamin D3, your chances of getting and dying from COVID increase. The lower the D3, the worse the issue. So here we have COVID-19 mortality correlates inversely to your vitamin D3 status. A mortality rate close to 0. Do you see that? 0. Could theoretically be achieved at 50 nanograms per milliliter of vitamin D3. Why? Vitamin D3 is an immune booster, so we have to talk about that. Do you know your levels? Are you getting tested regularly? Watch this one, okay? This is an unknown disturbance. A lot of people are being affected by this. Here's a study done not too long ago. Again, I believe this was 2009. disturbance of your immune system by electromagnetic fields, the damage that could potentially be done to your cell tissues, and the repair ability is reduced, which can lead to disease and impairment. So what happens? EMFs can damage our immune response. So how can we boost it naturally, unconventionally, ways that aren't just you sucking down supplements? It helps, but I want to show you the real way to boost your immune response. And then watch this. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right now. Can intermittent fasting reset your immune system? Forbes magazine back in 2020 published a really unique article where they showed that if you simply fast, your body recycles old, sort of inefficient immune cells and forces a regrowth of brand new white blood cells, neutrophils, lymphocytes, eosinophils. So all of these healthy cells go around your body and they look for and they destroy viruses, bacteria, parasites, you name it, even allergens and toxins, helping you to be healthy. So listen, your immune system is essential. You can't live without it. In fact, even on a day like today, we got to boost it. Most of you are walking around with really weak immune systems. One way of knowing that is your fatigue levels. It's your weight. If you have to lose 20 pounds, immune system's deficient. If you're tired all the time, if your joints ache, if your blood pressure's high, cholesterol, sugars, if you're taking a medication for anything, your immune system is weak. So we're going to talk today about natural ways, unconventional ways to boost it rapidly. And here's the thing, guys. Last 2 weeks, we've registered over 75 people for my webinar that's coming up on Saturday, January 29th. I still have a ton of space, okay? We can invite you into this functional space, and I'm going to teach you how to lose 10, 15, even 20 pounds in as little as 4 weeks, how to cut medication dosages back because your body is healing itself, boosting your immune system, regulating and increase your energy. And here's the amazing thing. No crazy diets, no time in the gym, just pounds down, health back, and energy back. Here's my question. Would you like to join us? It's free. Saturday, January 29th. All you have to do is call 704-906-2094 or text your name and email to that same number. 704-906-2094. 20 pounds down, energy up, immune system back, and it's free Saturday, January 29th. The number again, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstcbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, oh, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily.
Right.
And drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road,
Sure.
ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and I love that today, of all days, we get to spend this hour chatting with you about something revolutionary for your health, your immune system. You know, so many of us are worried today, and I'm going to say COVID, but the whole show is not about COVID, guys. It's about your immune system, but tell me if you would not agree with this. We're just worried. Okay, I've seen people say, well, what can I do to boost my immune system? How can I protect myself? We're being told wear masks. We're being told get the vaccine. We're being told, protect yourself. And some people are still doing the 6-foot isolations. I've even seen some people still wearing latex gloves as they go out and about. So here's my question. Is it more about protecting you, shielding you, putting on personal protection equipment to stop that virus from getting inside your body? It's a focus. We could do that. And listen, I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but I'm saying what if we focus on how to increase your body's response? Because I don't know if you know this or not, but we're surrounded every single second of every single day by invaders. Okay, there's bacteria on everything. Okay, you can't get rid of all of it. In fact, your body has more bacteria in and on you than the number of cells that make up you as a human. So you're more bacteria than human by definition if you were to count cells. We have viruses, we have parasites, we have fungus, we have molds, we have all kinds of things, toxins that can affect our health. And here's the thing. I'd like to say, if I can show you what the research says about boosting your immune system, then you don't have to go around living life in fear. All right? God gave your body this immense power to adapt, know, and respond to any sort of invasion coming in. It doesn't matter what strain of virus we're talking about. It could be Epstein-Barr, it could be the flu, it could be rotavirus, it could be coronavirus. All right? Your body has this immense network of cells and tissues and organs, all designed to do one thing: look for invaders, destroy them, and keep you healthy. Now, I'm going to throw a little caveat out. A lot of people think your immune system is a protection system only, kind of like a shield. Stops the invaders as they get in, destroys them, gets rid of them. And it certainly does that. But at the same token, your immune system is also responsible for repair and regeneration. So when we talk about cellular regrowth, when we talk about bones growing back, getting stronger, protecting you from things like osteoporosis, osteopenia, muscle destruction, okay? As we get older, a lot of us lose muscle mass, we lose bone mass. And listen, I'm going to share with you, that's an immune system issue. It means you're not regenerating properly. So don't just think of your immune system as that sort of like gatekeeper, right? Or the bouncer that says you're not allowed in. I mean, it does that, but it's also cleaning, cleansing, rebuilding, regenerating. And this is why you physically can't live without an immune response. Now, here's the thing. it's really difficult to just look at someone and say, oh my gosh, you have a really strong immune system. So what I want to share with you is, number one, how would you know if your immune system is weak or if there's an issue with the strength of it? Okay, we want 100%, whatever that looks like. How do we know if you're at 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20? Well, here's the thing. Number one, if you're someone who is chronically getting things, infections, okay, UTIs on a recurring basis, upper respiratory infections on a recurring basis. If you have any sort of colds, sniffles, aches, pains, etc., and they just keep reoccurring, okay, well then your immune system's weak. All right, we know for a fact that if you're taking a medication, it is going to weaken your immune system. So if you have a diagnosis, if you have a condition, again, think about it. The immune system is supposed to repair, regenerate, and rejuvenate. So if your body is struggling, pressures are off, sugars are off, triglycerides are off, you're diagnosed, ADD, ADHD, thyroid, you name it, cholesterol, whatever. If you're taking a medication, then your immune system is inefficient, because if it was strong and healthy, you would have repaired whatever the cause is of that condition and thus been able to get off medications and return back to the healthy you. If you're tired, if your joints ache, I mean, we could keep going through this list, but in essence, if you have difficulty with normal day-to-day functions, then you have a deficiency in your immune system. Okay, so one way to know the strength of your immune system is to do a basic blood exam and have a breakdown of what's known as your white blood cells. Okay, so think of this as like a differential, as they call it. We count the number of cells in your body, in your blood, and we look to see what is the ratio between them. Now, here's the secret, okay? You have many different types of white blood cells. A lot of you will say, well, if my immune system is strong, my white blood cells can go around. They can attack, destroy, and kill. And I also have other lymphocytes. There are other versions of white blood cells that produce antibodies. And when a foreign agent comes in, the white blood cells recognize it. They chew it up, basically. They eat it. Okay, and then they rip it apart into small microscopic pieces, and they present it, if you will. They bring this broken down virus, bacteria, pathogen, parasite, fungus to what's called a lymphocyte. And these B lymphocytes, as they're called, will recognize the bits and pieces and say, okay, make antibodies. So now your body produces antibodies, and those antibodies will attach to a future infection or other infections. And what it does is it actually primes your immune response so that you know what to do, so that when another virus comes in, you have antibodies for it, and so you instantly can create the attack. Now, when we look at your white blood cells to find out if your immune system is really strong, we want to look at the ratio. So, for example, the top 4 white blood cells, neutrophils, they kill bacteria and fungus. So if you have a really high neutrophil count, let's say it's beyond the normal range, then there would be a sign of an active infection with either bacteria or fungus. So they need to be in a specific range. And generally, you want your neutrophils by count to be about a 3.0. Lymphocytes, on the other hand, well, they kill viruses and they also get rid of toxins. So if you have really high lymphocytes, you either have a toxic issue, too many toxins in your body, or you have a viral infection that's going active. Now, lymphocytes, when they're healthy, will be about a third of that of your neutrophils. So if your neutrophils, if they're at a 3, lymphocytes are a 1. So the number one goal is, do you have a 3-to-1 ratio of your neutrophils to lymphocytes? And this is found on a basic blood exam. Many of you get your annual physicals done by your doctors, so you could just go to your portal, download it, scroll down to the neutrophils and lymphocyte breakdowns and see. If you have a 6 for neutrophils, we want a 2 for lymphocytes. If you have a 3, we want a 1. Okay? Eosinophils are another type of white blood cells, but they mostly go after parasites, or they'll be present if you have a lot of allergies or foodborne allergies. Generally, eosinophils should be down to 0. How many allergies should you be dealing with on a daily basis? None. How many parasites should be swimming around in your body? None. But some of you have these parasites, and so we see a subtle rise in eosinophils. Basophils, the 4th type of white blood cells, they generally respond to an infection that results in an allergic response, histamine as an example. So basophils are usually 0. So a really strong, vibrant, active immune system is going to have a 3-to-1 ratio neutrophils to lymphocytes and almost no eosinophils and almost no basophils. So one way we can find out how strong your immune system is just by looking at a simple blood exam. And you would be amazed how many people I consult with that say, I need to get well, I need to get healthy, I've done everything. I've taken every medication, I've tried every program, I'm not getting results. We do a simple blood exam, we go straight to their immune system test, and we look to see if it's strong. And if they're off balance, which a lot of you are, we're going to implement these strategies that I'm going to teach you today to rapidly boost your immune system. Now, real quick, there are 4 different types of immunity. And I know you might think like, wait a second, I thought the immune system was just either on or off. Well, true, but you have this innate immunity, meaning it's the immune system that you were born with. You know, medically, they often say like an adult that's, well, not an adult, but an infant that's born is weak compared to an adult. They have no immunity. They're just fresh out of the oven. But see, that's not necessarily the case because God knew that we need to have protection from the get-go. So all living creatures, including you, have an innate immunity. And this is the immune system that you were born with that instantly helps you to fight against pathogens, infections, and it has the ability to adapt. It gets stronger as we live longer. And so our innate is always there, always present. Adaptive immunity is something that you build over time based upon exposures. This is why, like, when you were younger and you had chickenpox and you went through it, you build antibodies to it. So your likelihood of getting chickenpox, again, as an adult or a younger child, older child, is very low. In fact, most people get it once. Their immune system builds a response. That's the adaptation, the adaptive immunity. You got these antibodies that float around and they hang around and they stick with you, and then they, last forever. So then you're protected. Passive immunity is that which is given to you because of you either boosting your immune response or because you inherited through the absorption of placental tissues or usually mother's breast milk when you're an infant. You get the immunity strength of your mother. So all of you can thank your mom for your current immune system. If she had a really good, strong immune system when you were nursing and when you were forming, that immunity travels over to you passively. Then we have what we are being told is a great immune response, which is the immunization or the exposures. Okay, so vaccinations work to give you a small portion of either a deactivated or a weakened pathogen, and then your body then builds the immune response, creates an adaptive response. But there's a difference between outside exposure, being directly injected, and forming that immune system as opposed to being exposed to the whole structure. So adaptive and innate are the 2 strongest, and that's what we want to build today. I want to teach you how do you increase adaptive and your innate immune response so you have this library of protection against a host of things. And it's not what you think. A lot of you might be saying, oh, okay, you're going to give me some immune boosting diet. Well, we're going to talk about that, but that's not the secret. Oh, it's some supplements you take, right? That's going to boost it. Well, we're going to talk about that, but that's not the secret. The unconventional, simple, almost free ways to boost your immune response, that's what I'm talking about today. It includes things like being grateful and being positive, supporting your sleep, avoiding the #1 immune destroyer, which we eat daily, that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. And then it goes into the research, this art of intermittent fasting and making sure that we're supporting our body's natural immune response. And I'm going to share these techniques with you. I've got about 12 of them, and guess what? They come back when we return from this commercial break. But right now, this is your opportunity. If you're looking to lose 20 or 30, maybe even 40 pounds this year without going to a gym, I'll show you how to do that. If you want to revolutionize your detox systems, if you want to get off of medication, reduce your reliance of things like blood pressure pills, blood sugar pills, triglycerides, maybe you have aches and pains, etc. I'm hosting a New Year, New You Total Body Makeover webinar on Saturday, January 29th. We already have 75 people registered. Let's push it well over 100 plus. And why don't you join me? It's free. We're going to share with you the techniques that are natural, safe, and effective that give tremendous results towards boosting energy, losing weight, bouncing back from medications, and radically transforming your health. Call 704-906-2094 to register, or you can text your name and email to that same number, 704-906-2094. The number again, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstscbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it, only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, oh, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's genes. Maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk. 2 cups, 40%. 4 cups, 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily.
Right.
And drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's nothing, there's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Hey, thanks for tuning in and sticking around for all of those of you who've been with us since the top of the hour. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and I'm here today to teach you this concept about the unconventional ways of boosting your immune system. You know, so many of us think that the things we should do to strengthen our immune system is take the immune system vitamins, right? Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, echinacea. I mean, there's literally a massive list of things you could take to boost your immune system. But I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about these unconventional, yet backed by science ways that are basically free, that if you implement them, your immune system can scoot through the roof. And according to the research, this can protect you against infections with COVID. I'm holding up onto our live streams a study that was done in the journal Nutrients, October 2021. So, I mean, we're looking at just a couple months ago. COVID-19 mortality is correlated inversely with your vitamin D status, and a mortality rate close to 0 could be achieved if you get your vitamin D levels to 50 nanograms or above. So what does that do? Well, it boosts your immune response, and it can help you to protect yourself against COVID. Here's another study that was done, again, about a year and a half ago, 2020 October. Intermittent fasting has the ability to be a priming tool as a defense against the COVID SARS-2 infection. Listen to the researchers. Intermittent fasting could potentially be a strategy amidst this outbreak of fighting off the infection. What we know is that no specific drug, now they are working on this, again, this is 2020, no specific drug has been discovered yet, but strengthening your immunity along with maintaining healthy living is the best way to survive this disease. Again, I'm quoting, guys, from this study. Intermittent fasting in a clinical setting, meaning you're monitoring your numbers and you're being managed by a physician and you're looking at lab values, has been reported to promote several health benefits, including the priming of your immune response. This level of dietary restrictions activates autophagy, the self-eating of broken down or inefficient cell tissues. And what they've discovered is your white blood cell counts go down slightly in the beginning. So you're eating all the old inefficient immune responses, and a cell surveillance system will activate, meaning it looks for the destruction of the white blood cells, and it will then boost your immune response, potentially even reactivating and re-stimulating it. Forbes magazine in 2020 said, could intermittent fasting be a way to reset your immune system? And I thought it was fascinating. There's a quote here that says that if you literally intermittently fast, you can recharge the immune system such that it's a completely new regeneration. Listen to one of the lead researchers. If you start with a system of damaged immune response, which most of us have, our immune systems are weak, fasting cycles can generate literally a new immune system. So we have to talk about this concept of strengthening the immune response and doing it the right way. Okay, so number one, let's talk about this concept of fasting. Intermittent fasting has been shown as a method to activate the white blood cells in your body. So you either have white blood cells that are healthy, strong, vibrant, and alive and can kill, destroy, and neutralize infections, or you have these kind of slightly older, weakened ones. And here's what's very unique about white blood cells. Can vitamin C stimulate them? Yes, but sugar is a molecule that actually molecularly is very similar to vitamin C. And so what happens is sugar tends to stick to the white blood cell and deactivate that white blood cell. According to a study that was done in the Journal of Tumor in 2016, only 100 grams of sugar, so that's not very much, just so you guys know, that's about 2.5 cans of your favorite carbonated beverage, or approximately the amount of sugar most Americans eat every single day, completely deactivates a white blood cell and makes them incapable to perform their function for up to 4 to 5 hours. So think about this. Every day, if you're consuming about 100 grams of carbohydrates, which again is about what most Americans do daily, you're shutting your immune system off for about 4 to 5 hours every single day, thus weakening the response. What we also know is that if you reduce your caloric intake and you shave the time you eat down to this intermittent concept, where you skip your breakfast, you drink either broth or coffee or tea or water or potentially vegetable juices, celery, kale, cucumber, chard, etc., all the immune-supporting, highly alkalinizing vegetables, that you can actually stimulate your immune response significantly. Again, what does it do? It creates autophagy, which is a cellular rejuvenation system that boosts the immune response, and some studies show that it can actually reduce inflammation and fight various diseases correlated to that. Those are things like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and even the autoimmune states that a lot of us get. So we have this art of sort of intermittent fasting. And I want to show you a study that was done where they actually said if you take it and go even further, you push it out to where you do what's called a prolonged fast. So instead of just skipping breakfast, you skip both lunch and dinner for up to 3 days. A 2019 study that was published in the journal Cell and Stem Cell Research found that if you fast for at least 48 hours, up to 72 or 120, so 3 to 4 days, can benefit your immune system by activating pathways that enhance the resistance to toxin, stress, viruses, and bacteria. They did this study with both mice and humans, and they found out that the old damaged immune cells were destroyed and brand new ones were stimulated, such that by the 3rd day, you had a completely reactivated new immune response. Now, think about this. They said, well, let's find people that are highly immunocompromised. So like their immune systems have been weakened, destroyed, or potentially wiped out. And what they did was they went straight for patients getting chemotherapy. So cancer patients. Chemotherapy does weaken your immune response. It is one of the side effects. So they took these patients that had cancer and were getting chemo, and they fasted them for 3 days before their chemotherapy procedure, and they found a significant improvement in the functionality of their tumors. So they had a better effect than just chemo alone. So can fasting boost your immune response? Yes. There's so many other things that I also need to help you to learn to do, so you can do that. And we have that coming back when we hit our next commercial break. And don't forget, right now, we are at about 2 weeks away from my next webinar. Saturday, January 29th, I'm hosting the New Year, New You event. If you're looking to lose 20, 30, even 40 pounds without setting foot in a gym, pick up the phone and call 704-906-2094. If you're looking to radically boost your energy, reduce or eliminate the need for medication because you let your body heal by itself, 704-906-2094. If you're frustrated and struggling over condition and diagnosis, or you just want to be healthier, pick up the phone and call 704-906-2094. The webinar is live. It's completely free. I'm going to teach you the top techniques that we use in functional medicine so you can become your own doctor and solve your health issues yourself. 704-906-2094. Text your name and email or call it, and it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Sterling believes in the science of CBD. Here's 3 great reasons to choose Sterling CBD. Reason number 1, Sterling is pure CBD. Sterling CBD is made from pure CBD isolate. We remove all the THC and unnecessary compounds, leaving only pure CBD. Reason number 2, backed by science. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, has approved CBD for U.S. Olympic athletes, but they only approve pure CBD, like Sterling CBD. Reason number 3, our organic hemp is FDA approved. At Sterling CBD, we quality control test at every manufacturing stage. We start with organic hemp plants and track them to our FDA-registered food-grade extraction facility. Our pure CBD products include capsules, isolates, lotions, and oils. We even have CBD pet products. You can find Sterling CBD at drernstcbd.com. Use the coupon code Dr. Ernst for 20% off your order.
What if we told you coffee was good for you? Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, where you can be set free from your health problems. This, of course, is your health hour, and we've had a lot of people over the last couple of weeks ask for us to talk about ways to boost your immune system. And so that's what we're doing today. If you'd like us to discuss a health topic on an up-and-coming show, don't forget to visit us at AskDrErnst.com. Top right-hand corner, it'll say Contact Us. And you can send over any questions you have, anything you'd like us to discuss, because, of course, we're here to bring free health information, tips, and protocols to you so that you can become your own doctor and heal yourself. We talked at the top of the hour about how a lot of us these days are kind of freaked out and worried about getting an infection. Of course, what you're probably thinking of is the whole COVID. Yes, there's variants going around, and yes, there's more people testing positive, and yes, there are some things you can do to help boost your immune response. But the show is not just about COVID, it's about fighting against anything. Any infection, bacteria, parasitic, viral, fungal, even toxins, because that's what your immune system does. I showed at the top of the hour several studies that have been recently published, one talking about vitamin D and how it's inversely correlated to the likelihood of you having COVID. What does that mean? If your D3 is low, your likelihood of having and having complications are really high. And the researchers suggest that you should shoot for a vitamin D level above 50. Now listen to this. I thought this was fascinating. The conclusion of the study says, strong evidence is providing that low D3 is a predictor of the effect of the infection. So it could predict your likelihood of getting the infection. Despite the ongoing vaccinations, these study authors, recommend raising your serum vitamin D to levels above 50 to prevent and stop any new outbreaks and to escape mutations or decreasing antibody activity. Guys, that whole statement is an entire show in and of itself. Vitamin D has the ability to boost your immune response, protect you from potential future variants, and can also increase the effectiveness of the antibodies that your body is producing either from the vaccination or from the innate acquired immunity. So what do we need to talk about as our next major strategy? After we do our fasting, after we do 2 or 3 days of block fasting to boost our immune response, like I talked about at the earlier part of the show, we need to now start focusing on our vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is found in fatty fish, salmon, etc., beef liver, grass-fed meats, egg yolks, and even some versions of raw dairy like cheese and things to that effect. One thing that's unique about vitamin D is that so many of us think that K2 is needed to absorb vitamin D, and there's truth to that. But a recent study was done that found out that turmeric, or curcumin is actually stronger at its effect of being able to help you absorb your vitamin D. The risk right now, being that it's early January, is we don't have enough sunlight. We don't have enough exposure to the correct amount of the rays of the UV light that stimulates vitamin D in our skin. So even if it was to warm up, like we had a couple weeks ago when it was in the mid 70s, and we go outside, unfortunately, we're below the sun belt. We're not going to be able to get the exposures that we need, so our skin doesn't produce any vitamin D in the wintertime, so we have to supplement. The average adult needs somewhere between 5 and 10,000 units of vitamin D to stimulate their immune system. But remember what the research says. It has to get above 50. We've got to get it above 50. So that means you have to get a test done, which means you got to get at least a blood prick or an exam done through a lab to find your number. And unfortunately, I've been doing this for a lot of clients for long periods of time. Most people are well under 50. So what we want to do is start focusing on taking a supplement, making sure that you're getting somewhere between 5,000 to 10,000 international units. If you want the technical definition, if you take your body weight in pounds and you divide by 25, and then you multiply that by 1,000, it'll give you an estimate of the dose you need in order to raise your vitamin D levels. So again, if you take your total body weight in pounds and you divide by 25 and you multiply by 1,000, it'll give you the amount of international units of vitamin D you need to boost your immune system. How would we know if our immune system is struggling or weak because it's of vitamin D levels? Well, number one, increased sensitivity to pain. Vitamin D levels being low will create chronic levels of pain and discomfort. So if things hurt, your vitamin D levels are low, and so is your immune system. Mood issues, if you have a lot of fluctuations in your relation to your depression, to how good you feel to how bad you feel, that's often related to a vitamin D deficiency and an immune response. Sleepiness, if you're tired and fatigued all the time, vitamin D. If your vitamin D level is low, you're twice as likely to struggle from daytime sleepiness, according to some studies. High blood pressure. Vitamin D is extremely important in the role of your heart health, and it regulates your blood pressure. So if your pressures are up, your immune system is down, and your vitamin D is down. So we can do some things, of course, to take our vitamin D. Here's another one that most of us don't think about when we want to boost our immune response, is going to a digestive enzyme. Now, again, you might be thinking vitamin C and zinc and echinacea, elderberry, and while those are good, I want to give you, again, the unconventionals, the ones that work better, and they're very inexpensive. Your gut and your immune system are directly connected. In fact, they've discovered that about 70 to 80% of the power of your immunity is technically in your intestines. And when you think intestines, I want you to think stomach first. Food goes in mouth, down the esophagus to stomach, and it must be digested well so that you don't stress out your small intestine and large intestines. What we've seen today is that a lot of people struggle with their digestive process. So large, undigested, whole proteins and foods end up in the intestines, and that leads to inflammation, irritation of gut lining, and a weakness to your immune response. So what would be the cheapest and most effective way to boost immune systems after taking vitamin D? Start using a digestive enzyme when you eat your food. Why? It liquefies. It helps you to digest. So what enters the bowels is already preset and ready for absorption, so large undigested proteins, fats, and carbs aren't hitting the small intestine. This has also been shown to reduce acid reflux, increase the digestive absorption of your nutrients, and help your digestive system to calm down. When the mucosal membranes of your intestines are inflamed, they're unable to secrete the appropriate enzymes and the nutrients we need to turn our immune system on. This is why studies have found that if your immune system or your digestive system is weak, or you have a dysbiosis, or your gut is leaking, it's almost impossible to have a strong, healthy immune response. So we start with vitamin D supplementation, we start with using a digestive enzyme, and then we have to support our digestive system with probiotics. There are multitudes of studies showing if you enhance the probiotic function of your large intestine, you can boost your immune response. So we start with vitamin D3, then we take a digestive enzyme, then we use probiotics, but all the while we're intermittent fasting or block fasting to create that reset that the research shows can physically reboost it. Again, what does Forbes magazine say? Can intermittent fasting reset your immune system? Yes, literally a brand new immune system according to the authors of this study. Now, some other things we can do, all right? Did you know that an infrared sauna is probably the greatest way at home for you to rapidly boost your immune system? Think about this. When you get an infection, what is the first thing your body does? It increases your temperature. And if you are at a body temperature between, say, 99 to 100 to 101, that's typically a viral infection. So it kind of turns on the oven of your body to burn those out. And that extra heat actually increases blood flow. It stimulates antibody production. It helps your white blood cells to be stronger. So see, when a lot of people have a cold and they have a fever, they run to, what can I do to lower the fever? Let's take an ice bath. Let's put ice on the forehead. Let's cool the body down. When in fact, I know it sounds weird, you should actually heat your body up. What an infrared sauna can do is support detoxification, reduce stress, improve energy, and here's the best bet. It activates somewhat of a stimulatory fever. It increases your body temperature, which helps to stimulate white blood cells and get rid of the viruses, the bacteria, and the toxins. There are simple techniques that you can use, even very inexpensive saunas that you can buy. One of my favorites is what's called a Therasage. It's a portable infrared sauna. It folds down real easily, slides under your bed. You can pull it out, unfold it, plug it in. It gets to about 140 degrees. When you sit in it, your head is outside, the body's inside, sweating, getting hot, and you're stimulating the immune response. Another one that is wildly important for you to do is to start this concept of grounding, or simply connecting your body to the earth. Again, I mentioned at the top of the hour, there's a recent study that was done that shows that electromagnetic fields create a disturbance in your immune response, potentially causing cell damage, tissue repair reduction, and can lead to disease and impairment. So the study shows the more that you are in fields of electricity, which sadly, they're all around us. Wi-Fi, EMFs, cell towers, your computers, everything is giving off a signal for connection. So the greatest thing you can do every day to kind of detox from that is to ground yourself. Now, the cheapest and most effective way of grounding is on a warmer day, take your shoes and socks off and go stand outside on the ground, grass, dirt, etc. Hug a tree physically. Touch it. It allows for that exchange of energy from the earth, the negative ions, to discharge into your body, and it helps to remove the stress. The studies show it can reduce depression, reduce anxiety, elevate your immune response, boost your mood, and help you to just generally feel better. If you want to do this at home inside, a $70 grounding mat that you can buy on Amazon, or maybe even a grounding sheet, they're usually about $100, $150. Put it on your bed. When you sleep at night, you plug it into the ground port, and you are discharging all of that EMF energy every single day while you sleep, and the research shows it boosts your immune system. Oh my gosh, this hour just flew right by, but here's the fun thing. All of these techniques are simple and easy. Most of them are free, and if you do them, you can boost your immune system drastically. Start intermittent fasting. Consider a 3-day block fast. The studies show it'll reset your immune system 100%. Start taking vitamin D. Focus on your digestive enzymes. Make sure you're using a probiotic, and let's start grounding our body to get rid of the EMF damage. That alone, unconventional, non-traditional ways to boost your immune system, and they work. Guys, we've only got about a minute left, so I'm going to throw out an offer for you to join me for my next webinar, Saturday, January 29th. It's 2 weekends in addition to today. I'm going to be hosting this for free. It's a webinar. It's in the comfort of your home. All you have to do is register, and we're going to talk about activating 20, 30, 40 pounds of weight loss without going to a gym. We're going to talk about boosting your immune response, helping your energy levels to come back, and fighting back from chronic conditions that we deal with that are often medicated. If you want to cut blood pressure, thyroid, cholesterol, diabetes down to nothing, 704-906-2094. If you want to lose 20 pounds, maybe even 30, I've had some clients even do 40 without ever going to a gym, 704-906-2094. The webinar is Saturday, January 29th at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's live. It's you and me. We're going to converse back and forth, and we're going to help you solve your health issues this year. Let's do it the right way, the functional way, the holistic way, with you being the doctor. 704-906-2094. Text your name and your email, or call that number, and my call center will be happy to take your information and register for you guys for that event. Again, Saturday, January 29th, 10 a.m. in the morning, free live webinar, and I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Adios.